So I do want to apologize why this review and my Charlotte review are a little bit late. If you don't know, it's the 4th of July here in the States. It's a time where, a lot of us, spend time with family. That's what I was doing. So I do apologize this was late. Anyway, that's not what you want to hear. You want to go into the episode Durarara, I'm assuming. I forgot how many of you actually watch this, because it's been a while. Anyway, in my very last review of Durarara, back in episode 12, I said that we don't know who was the guy who stabbed Izaya. But, we actually did. It's just that my brain, there's so many main characters, none of the, sometimes the names just, they just, wipe on by, and you don't, usually for me, in order for me to remember somebody, they have to have, some important ability or something like that, something that makes me, when I see that ability, or, I give them that, personification. It's like how I remember Sasuke is that he has the Sharingan. How I remember Kakashi has the lightning blade. Naruto Rasengan. All these other things. Anyway, the guy who stabbed Izaya, we actually seen before. It's the guy who wanted to kidnap Akane, I believe her name is, the little girl that was with Shizuo, and the big plot point in the back half of the season, or the first part of season 2. He was that old man that hired Verona and I believe Sloane, what was his name, to go get Akane, and I don't know who hired them to go get Henri, but he was also the guy who was working with I don't remember her name, but it's the Hollywood killer, and I know that she is in a relationship with Shizuo's brother, whose name I do not remember at the moment either. I am very tired. Anyway, we learned that he's the one doing all these things, and if you take Izaya and you take this guy, I believe his name is Ju, like Ju. If you take they're both scumbags, right? The new girl that we saw in this episode, she says that Izaya is the lowest of the low. But this guy, I think he's a lot worse than Izaya is. Anyway, a pretty cool trick that they've been doing, it seems, is that in order to make this guy scary, because we haven't seen a lot of this guy. We saw him in I believe in 2 episodes at most in the last season, or the last half, or the last part, I guess, where he's talking to Verona and Sloane about getting Akane and all of this, and we saw him stab Izaya in episode 12, but we didn't see his face, and if you don't recognize names right away, you didn't know it was him. And what they've been doing is that it's a cool camera trick where he's getting things done, but at the same time he's not being shown on camera getting those things done. In a sense, when we saw him stab Izaya, we didn't even see his face or anything. We just saw his hair. We just heard his voice get closer, and then shing, stabbing Izaya in the side, and just walking away, no problem. There is more to it, but that's just a gist of it, and it's just showing that how scary he really is, because we even see in this episode that he was the guy. I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering the scene correctly, he was the guy that Shizuo's brother's girlfriend, the Hollywood killer, was trying to get, because I think he screwed her over, something along the lines of that, and she was trying to get him. And now what Ju is trying to do is that he's trying to get be a partner with, I believe his name is Sanji, and his sister who's in love with him, all this incest thing. He's trying to get them to combine their companies together, something along the lines of that. And that guy, one of the businessmen that Shinra's dad was talking to, is the uncle to them. And before I get to Izaya, it looks like shit is gonna hit the fan very quickly, because what I love about this is they pick off right after. It's literally the day after Izaya gets stabbed. He's already in the hospital. We see more or less the events of his hospital at night, and then we go back in the beginning of the day, and then we go back to night to fully see the scene realized, where Izaya he's bored, because Izaya is the type of guy who enjoys messing with people. We saw that in this episode. But before I get into that, we have this foreshadowing scene where we see all these different scenes that I think are going to be in future episodes, where we see it's just Izaya planning in his head, right? These things are going to go down, where we see Seji's sister. I don't remember her name at the moment. It's been, like I said, it's been a while. I'm tired. I don't feel like looking them up, stuff like that. We see that she confronts Seji's girlfriend, which they had a whole confrontation last season, actual season 1, and it looks like shit hits the fans with that, and it even shows that in the preview, and it looks like she's finally becoming a character again, which is nice. And something I noticed with this, it shows in the ending that some characters that were on the front line, that characters that you can consider main characters back in the part 1 of season 2, where like now some of them are gonna like take a step back and not become as important as they were. Anyway, we see Izaya mess up Shinra's date because Shinra here is going on a date with Soti, like a day off, something like that. He's trying to take a picture of Soti in this very cute dress, and some people keep on calling him. And Izaya messes him up, by like saying, "Oh yeah, you're a friggin' scumbag, da, 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 you're illegal and all of this." And the cops are right there, and he just like the cops are like, "So, we heard you're doing illegal stuff." Anyway, while he's like rusting, I guess you can consider that he's like predicting like all these things that are gonna happen in in the city, and he's also like predicting who's going like to come and kill him, because obviously someone doesn't just stab Izai just to stab him. Just like some random mugging. It's gonna be like, they're out to get me, so they're gonna send someone, to finish the job. And this girl comes, and I believe her name is Manami, and it's like, who are you? And then we get a flashback scene where we see that Izaya, he did the exact same thing that he did back in episode 1, season 1 with the other girl, Rio, I believe her name is, and he's like, yeah, let's do suicide together. Psych, you guys can do it. I'm just, gonna do my thing, just make like your life horrible because you don't care because you're gonna commit suicide anyway. Manami, she finds out that Izai gets stabbed, locates him in the hospital, and it's time to go like finish the job, finally get my vengeance and all of this. And she doesn't really succeed. Izaya leaves the hospital, but it looks like she's sticking around because in the ending we see her part of like the little thing where she's like with everyone like holding each other up. And that's about it for the episode, really. If anything, the opening is endings. The opening it's not as good as like the previous Durarara openings. Like the other Durarara openings were like they had great guitar riffs and all of this. And this one, it's kind of slow, but maybe it's like foreshadowing the tone of this part of the season. And the ending, I think I like the ending a lot better. But both are gonna grow on me because Durarara, they usually have great songs and they have great Easter eggs as well. But this time, they've been the same Easter eggs, like we saw I Don't Know a Zero and the regular at Magic High School, because those were from last season or from like those Easter eggs from the last season, stuff like that. But yeah, it also looks like Mikado is stepping up his game. He goes out in public with like all the like blood stains that he got from his face from his beating. And he's just like casually walking, and it looks like from the opening and the ending songs that he's getting a new jacket, which I'm excited for. And Kita is also in town, and things are gonna happen. And like I said, shit's are gonna hit the fan next episode, so I'm excited. And hopefully next review is gonna come up like right on time, probably around like 3 or 4ish o'clock. Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, this episode was great. I thought it was great. Let me know your thoughts on the season so far. What you think of this episode down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you think the video deserves it. Subscribe to my channel if you like what you saw. If you haven't already, you like Durarara, I talk about it. Anyway, I'll see you guys all next time. So until then, bye bye.